And new tonight, the Call 7 investigators uncovering new questions about the actions of the state attorney general when he found out a police test was compromised. Every police candidate must pass the test before they can carry a gun and a badge. Well, Call 7 investigator John Ferrugia is here. John, you talked to a former cadet who found out how easy it was to pass the exam when he had questions and answers in advance.
That's right, Ann. The Baca book, as it's known, was common knowledge among police candidates for years. And when Attorney General John Suthers found out about the compromised questions, well, he started removing them from the test. But our investigation found he did not let members of the Police Certification Board, the board he oversees, know the extent of the problem.
It was, again, strongly recommended that we take this training class with Chief Baca from Commerce City.
Steve Cass, who is now in private security, took the State Peace Officer Standards and Training Exam in 2009 when he was studying to be a state trooper. He and his classmates were told to spend $45 to take a prep class from Phil Baca and to obtain his study guide.
Nice to see you.
Coincidentally, at the time, Baca was head of the post-curriculum committee that selected the questions for the exam.
What happened when you got to the test?
I recognized a lot of the questions.
Same as in the book?
Yes.
Same order?
Yes, to the point where I almost felt like I didn't have to read the four choices. Now, I chose to make sure that I read all four because this was the exam and I wanted to make sure there wasn't a slight change in there meant to throw me off, but they were very, very recognizable.
Well, in my view, the test is compromised by virtue of the fact that there are certain sheets out there circulating that have identical questions with the answers in them that folks have available to them.
Joseph Sandoval is a former police officer, a lawyer, and a professor of criminal justice at Metro State College in Denver. Phil Baca also teaches at the college.
It really does give that person an edge.
Sandoval says there are serious questions about those certified by the compromised test.
There needs to be some kind of solution in order to ensure that the test that was used has certain validity.
Would you agree with me that the more questions verbatim that are in his book that are on the test, the more valuable his book is?
Oh, yeah. I would say that. And the easier the test is.
Right. Yeah. And he was selling it for $75 a shot.
But Attorney General John Suthers says he has no concerns about officers who had questions and answers in advance.
Do you think that there's no issue that you need to retest people?
No, I don't think we need to retest people.
If the test is not valid, if the test is not reliable, then what's the point in having the test? Might as well just say, go through the academy, have your instructors grade you.
You were basically happy you had the questions in advance.
Yes.
Easy to pass the test.
Much easier, yes.
Well, the Attorney General clearly knew the sale of the Baca book raised serious questions. He seems to have never relayed the severity of that issue to the board he oversees, and he allowed Baca to simply resign. Now, the agent in charge of the Denver FBI office, who sits on the post board, says Suthers never told him that exact questions and answers from that test were in the Baca book. His spokesman says agent in charge James Yacone found out about the specifics of this from our reports last week. Meanwhile, a spokesman says the U.S. Attorney's Office is aware of our reports, but, Ann, no word yet on whether there's going to be an actual investigation.
All right, John, we know you'll stay on top of this. Thank you. By the way, if you ever have a tip for our Call 7 investigators, we want to hear from you. Call us at 303-832-7777, or you can email us at call7@thedenverchannel.com.